Good morning, cyber traders, and welcome back on this lovely Friday, 9 a.m. And we have about 30 minutes for the market opens up. Good to see you, Lawrence. Good to see you, Richard. Everyone on social media, welcome back. Looks like we're having a very active Friday morning on the 2nd of May, and a lot of greens going on. A lot of the swing trades looking a lot better. I'm feeling a little bit better. Had a lot of good news on what happened with Amazon, and you could see here they had earnings announcements yesterday. That was the big news. Apple didn't do too well. They basically said they could take a $900 million hit. The tariffs are not working out, but I was listening to all the earnings announcements and talking about the tariffs. I'm listening. I go from like one station, financial station, to the other and listen to all these analysts. I listen to these people. And you know what? Something a little concerns me. I don't think China is going to go down easy. I really, really don't. And I really think they really don't care. Okay. So this tariff thing that's going to be happening, I would probably bank on that. They're probably going to go to a war, not like a physical war, but like they're going to they really probably don't care. And you know what? I think this has been planned and plotted for a long time with China. What's going on with the tariffs? Not with the tariffs, just like, having control of the supply chain in the world, and making them the superpower, and making sure that they control the manufacturer and everything else. And this whole Trump thing that's coming in and woke up. And I mean, this has been going on for years. I knew it was going on for 20 years too. I was talking about it. But now got to the point, I think COVID was a wake-up call. And I think a lot of the other countries, like the European countries, are coming down to the table. But like hearing that, like what happened, Apple said that they started moving out like 90% of production. They already moved it to India and stuff like that. They're starting to get it out of there and stuff like that. I don't think China's going to go down pretty easy. You know what I mean? It's like now what you're affecting is you're going to start taking money out of their children's mouth, right? You're taking food out of their mouth. And you know how that always turns out with some people always say, you know what I mean? Like, you start taking food off my kid's table, then we have a problem. So, but the market obviously liking some of the news that came out there. And I think that it's going to be working out, and we'll see how that pans out. But I think it can get pretty ugly. Anyway, gasoline is part of the tariffs. And gas has dropped substantially. I mean, if you looked at oil lately, everyone, it's about almost about $20-$30. It's not a lot. Oil is, is going to help with the inflation, everything else. I think if you take care of that, take care of the bonds, everything else will take care of themselves. But a lot of the stocks are doing pretty well. A lot of swing trades are doing pretty well. I got paid my money on CONY. By the way, I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to do a workshop video on this. You'll see it on YouTube. I'm going to report it. But I like these high yield ETFs. But some of them, like after trading them, I only started trading about maybe like 3-4 months ago. Now after seeing how they work, I'm not a huge fan of them as much unless you get them super, super, super cheap. Okay. So, Bill, you did the MSTY. Let me bring that up. MSTY. Yeah, I mean, that one is doing absolutely great. What's the yield on that one? What's the yield that you get on that, Bill? And when does it pay? But yeah, that one is obviously, you bought at 2080. I mean, yeah, you stole it. I mean, it's pretty cheap. But if you see how they're going up and down and how volatile they are and what they pay, one's got to pay the other, one versus the other. Yeah, there's a lot of them out there. Dave, you're on that one. PLTY. Yeah, that one's doing also pretty well too. But like, look how much they drop. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But let's get right to the market, and let me change my layout here so you guys can see it on social media a little bit better. So let's go over what happened. So we had a couple of stocks that made some big moves. Amazon, you can see here, and bring this up here and bring this to a 2-day chart. So you could see I had a beautiful slingshot, and we talk about slingshots. And, I did an event with Traders Reserve yesterday, And I told everyone, I don't know if you guys are here, and we had a lot of people that attended my event yesterday. But if you got in early and you registered for the trial and you stuck around for the after hours, you could see how fun that stock Amazon was. That was a really, really fun move. Look at it, 192 down to 80. If you got in at 82, 83, you're like drooling right now. You're doing great on that stock. So anyway, Amazon did well. Let's look at the Google trade not Google. Let's look at the Apple AAPL. So you can see Apple, you can see that didn't do too much for a slingshot. It's still hovering a little bit low. Not really a good sign going into the open when it comes to Apple, okay? But Amazon, AMZN, we're going to keep that on the watch list. There's a few other stocks. But before we do that, let's talk about what traded yesterday, because we got some really, really cheap ones that worked out really well. And I want to cover them. So Zcar was a great trade yesterday. It was on the watch list. Everyone saw that on the watch list. And, we saw it early in the morning, right around $8. The beauty thing ran to 16. That was a double. Okay. I know some of you guys just made a buck on that. Were you happy with that one? That one did pretty well. Another big one was, what was Kid Z? KIZ. That one, very cheap little stock, very inexpensive. That stock went from $2, went all the way to the end of the day, up to $5. It shot up to $10. That is literally up almost 500%. Great day trade. I'm going to put this back on the watch list. KIDZ. That was another one that did pretty well. We had two other ones of some of the names some of you never heard of. Another one to bring up is the CEP. That one did really well for us, not only on the day trade side, but on swing trade. You can see its stock went from $10 all the way to $60, up 600% in less than a week. I'm contemplating keeping it on the watch list. It shot up to 58. It came down to 48. Remember, this is a category 5, okay? But I will put it back on the watch list again, the CEP. And what was the last one we had? SOFA, right? That was the other one that yesterday we traded, Cyber Traders, SOPA. That one had a great in the afternoon. You could see earnings. That one ran from $1.30 all the way to about $1.70. But it was really nice early in the morning. So look at that. Beautiful stock, 80 cents all the way to about $1.30. All right, so let's talk about what's going on this morning. Let's flip the page. That's the past. Let's focus on the future. Now, remember, if you attended my events yesterday, the big thing Cyber Trading University focuses on, our main style is reading the right of the chart. And I keep repeating that because some people just don't get it until you watch the video. Now, if you didn't attend live, we do it on our website. You could follow on YouTube, social media, Instagram, TikTok. We made some nice little shorts of them. But it's all about following the money. And I'm going to show it to you I'm going to show it to you, some of them on level 4. But let's go over the big mover that we found this morning. This was the greatest move of this move so far we had this morning, FREG. If you logged in early around 7:30, which is when we start trading here, you did pretty well on it. Even if you got at 250, this beauty went all the way to 350. She is still very, very strong. If you look in the bottom right, you can see the stock was a $100 stock. Went down 99%. Damn, that sucks. Is this the dead cat bounce? I don't know. As a day trade, looks pretty good so far. So I'm going to hop over here and show you level 4 and see what we got going on here. So when I zoom out over here, you can see it that we got some big orders out here around $3, and he jumped in right around $8.45. You got a couple of big resistance levels here. Not the prettiest looking level 4, but there are a couple of orders out there. You got 50,000, 25,000, right around 420. You can see that right there, that line right there. So we could see what's nice about level 4. We can see how long they've been out there, and if they're still out there, if they're canceling it. All right, so we'll keep an eye on that one. FRGE. Z-Kid is another one. Look at the orders right here on Z-Kid. So big orders here to 10 and 11. You can see they've been out there since 8 o'clock this morning. 28,000, 25,000, and 13,000. So you got some orders out there. She still looks pretty good. She still looks pretty strong. We already got that on the watch list. Now, this is where it dies, okay, because I was going down. I didn't really see that much out there. Airs, ALB, garbage. Look at that chart. No real trend. Up 13%. Really not what we're looking for. These are all garbage stocks. I mean, CEP's back on there. We already got that. We already got that on the list. And remember, we're just working off the big percentage gainers. This one just popped right now, Upstairs Holdings, but it's ugly spread. All right. Now, most active. First of all, a lot of these stocks are moving pretty well. TSLL, you know, we're a big fan of that because it's why go out there and trade the TSL Tesla. This is the opposite. This is the ETF on it, but that is going up pretty well. I want to show you what's going on with Tesla right now. And right here, we see the orders. And you can see here, we got the big order, 290 and 300. Now, remember, this is going to probably go by 5 times higher because this is only pre-market. When these orders, program trading doesn't kick in until about 9:30. So we'll see the orders out there. Do I have Amazon? No, I don't have Amazon. AMZN. Let's bring up Amazon. NVIDIA is another one that's moving up really nicely. It just took out this 114. There's 120,000 share at 115. Now, remember, if you were here yesterday during when I did my event, we saw that up to about 1.2 million. So this jumps this red line is going to be completely like light yellow. But when the market opens up, I could tell you that probably is going to jump about maybe 10 times because program trading. So resistance levels, this one just got filled at 114. I'm going to zoom out here. You can see 115, 118, but you can see the stock is moving in $5 intervals. The orders are already out there. When we get back here at 9:30, we'll see how that works out and see how those trades kick in, all right? So anyway, those stocks are doing pretty well. Amazon is over. Where's NVIDIA here? There's NVIDIA right there. So you can see NVIDIA's got that big resistance levels from yesterday at 115. It was pretty funny because yesterday when I did my event, I was showing everyone and it just made perfect sense. A lot of people that never even knew about cybertradinguniversity, knew the right of the chart, they saw the resistance levels there. And I'm going to say, well, what made that stock go down? And they were thinking like, well, maybe it was the chart. No, it was those orders. And I think that's why we had so many people that are joining us here. And, you know, like I said, welcome to the family because you haven't seen anything yet. But anyway, he's still out there. And if we get past that, we're going to look really, really good on the NVLL trade. So the NVDL trade. Anyway, the Tesla trade, the Amazon, let's go check out Amazon really quick because everyone's really interested about Amazon. So Amazon, really nice push here. And when you're looking at the chart, we know there's a lot of resistance levels right around the 195, specifically 200. All right, so now we look at the orders over here. You could see the orders out there. There's the 195 and there's the 200. So if we can get past those, 200, I think is going to be a real challenge for the stock. But it's looking great. And if you got the ETFs or you have the stock itself, you're doing pretty well with that stock. So Amazon is on our watch list also. I am not putting Apple on our watch list. Palantir, hit that big resistance levels right around there, and it's came back down. We saw that yesterday too. We saw that big iceberg order. There's one big ass seller out there in Palantir. Let me tell you, is he still out there? I think it was almost like 350,000 shares on Palantir, and that is a lot, Palantir. All right, is he still out there? No, he pulled his order. He's there's the order right there, 45,000 at 120 and then 125. So that's the two big orders out there. Okay. So that's going to kind of hold it back down. If it gets past that, I think that, like I said, that was almost like 10 times yesterday, and we'll see how that works out. And then, like you said, Bell and Chuck are putting out, it's so funny. The ETFs are out there, right? It's amazing how many they're out there. What do we got? Was it PLTU? That's the ETF on that one. Yep. There you go. All right, traders. So listen, it's Friday. It's don't get too crazy. We don't get too cocky on days like today. We are having a nice little green swing trades. We did really well. We were playing the falling knife because we thought we were at the basement. It did work out for us so far, but we're at this very critical resistance levels on these stocks. Okay, we got to get past. Tesla's got to get past the 290, 300. Okay, NVIDIA's got to get past this specific 115 number. Okay, big, big number. You could see it on the bottom chart. Very big number. Amazon's got to get past that 200. So we bought the falling knives right here. We did let me bring this chart here bigger than you. We trade the falling knife. We caught it. We tested it. It didn't make that new low. A lot of us jumped in right around these prices, so we did pretty well on that trade. All right. And we can go down the list. Palantir, same thing. We bought the falling knife, came back up, took another dip. A lot of you guys got it right around here, around the 80s. So you're looking pretty good right there. Tesla right there is the other one. Played the falling knife, went back, falling knife, came back, triple bottom, looks pretty good. We got to get past this number. It's a very critical number right there. We get past that 300, this thing's going to probably go to 320 to 340, and we're going to kill it on the other ones. All right, guys? So once again, don't get too crazy. Don't get too cocky. All right? Now, if you attended our event yesterday, and if you want to come and join our trading room, we're going to broadcast live here, so don't go anywhere on YouTube. But take your phone. All you got to do is scan the QR code in the right-hand corner. If you're watching on social media, just give us your name and email. We'll get you in a live trading room. We're going to be here all day long. If you want to watch those videos about how to get NASDAQ book view or everything else, how to trade the right of the chart, make sure you take care of that. Right. In the meantime, everyone, we're going to take our 15-minute break. We're going to be right back when the market opens up. Me and Josh will be back here and Rich, ready to trade the open with you guys. And listen, you see something, you say something. And if you made your money for the day, like we always say, $1 a day keeps Fausto Josh and Rich away. Okay. So that's all you need to make a consistent day's pay. Don't have to get crazy. Don't get too cocky. And let's see how we go from there. Good luck, everyone. If I don't see you, if you made your money for the day, enjoy your weekend. We'll see you right back. We'll see you here on Monday. All right, guys. Don't go anywhere. We're right back. All right. Good morning, everybody.
There we go. We are off and running.
Oh, hear an echo on your part. Hold on. That must be me. There we go. I fixed it. You there?
Yeah, we are good to go here, Fast. How's everything coming along?
Looking good. We're up about 400 points. I'm in a good mood.
Yep, definitely. I'll tell you what, heading into the end of the day yesterday, I was expecting more of like a pullback, but like I said at the end of the day this because I wanted to make sure everyone I want to make sure I cross my T's here. In this market, with how many talking heads there are out there, outside of Trump, even like Besant, Lutnick, Elon, obviously, anyone could say anything, and just the market could react, right?
Yeah.
So even that, and like this morning, we had some economic data, the non-farm payrolls that came out. So the market's doing pretty good here so far. God bless you.
Thank you. Yeah, a lot of good reports came in. Like I told you, this morning I was mentioning it. I'm a little nervous about the whole China thing. I don't think they're going to go down easy. You know.
I think over time we'll see obviously a deal reached, but as far as like the long-term effects of the tariffs and blah blah blah, and like you were saying with the supply chain, that's like a long-standing thing that's going to affect the supply chain for a long time. So we have no idea how it's going to affect the market overall as far as like recession, when, if, but
You
you
know, they
just got to
keep
take it day by
you
day.
know, what I hate this infighting that's going on. You know what I mean? It's like everything that's going on with Trump's doing. A lot of the other side is just fighting with them. Listen, there's been a lot of fraud. And it's been listen after happened with COVID, and that one little thing just freaked me out. What China did, I think that's what was really scaring people. Is like we make all our Tylenol there. You know, it's a national security. You know what I mean? And they said hey, what happens if we stop sending you Tylenol? Because they didn't like the idea. We kept on blaming them about COVID. I mean, that should have been like a wake up call right there alone. So um, they're not going to, listen, like I said this morning, when you start taking food out of their table, the kids' table, and take them out of their mouth, they're not going to go down too easily. And I was watching all these companies like IBM I mean, I know Trump had a whole thing where all these corporate companies, I think he raised like over $1 trillion being invested in the United States.
Not to cut you off here, Fausto, you're getting a huge pop right now. Like I normally say start and stick with our list, and I was just kind of skimming through my book map. So it would be kind of irresponsible for me to not call out Palantir. We just had a huge pop right now. It's up nearly 4%.
They love that news. That big iceberg order just showed up at 125 now. We got like a 4-layer stack right now from 122, 123, 2024, and the big one 125. So
I'll tell you what, we were calling this out as a short into the afternoon. It was perfect. It was such a good move as a short, but as a day trade. So overnight, it's really tough to have confidence in any direction, like we just said. So, Trump was on at 4 o'clock yesterday. We had the data that came out this morning. Right back up we go.
hmm I think I mentioned this before. Do you know the CEO of Palantir? Who worked for him? JD Vance.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You had mentioned
So
that once before, so it rings a bell now when you say it
yeah.
again.
So you're gonna see. They'll get some nice contracts. They're doing pretty well. But
The FRG.
they must love that news with the deal they got with NATO.
The FRGT trade's trying to go back up one more time, but we got to see it blast back up to the pre-market highs. Like you don't want to have it just chop around here because it's already moved up so much.
I didn't want to put the stock on the watch list because it's not really tradable and it was not really moving, but the ADPT is starting to move up a little bit. Ugly spread though, but just throw that out there so you guys could see what it's like having an ugly trade and seeing something that is still moving pretty decently.
Working with a couple different students yesterday, Fausto, just generally saying that there were some frustrations with just following book map, following just looking for a good entry on a trade, more or less, right? It's easy to say a stock popped and maybe you could have or should have jumped in, but that's in hindsight. So I'm working with students here where it's like tough for them to take entries. This is making a nice pop, the FRGT. It's trying to. But if the heat map, point being, if the heat map looks really ugly, just move on. Just if you can't make ends meet out of that book map page, if you got the Legos, like you say, just move on. There's plenty of other fish in the sea out there to try and grab. So
There's a lot of them. Out of my whole watch list, the only thing that's red is Amazon. Let me just, Let me take a
Yeah,
screenshot of it.
Amazon pulled. Well, it's down and pulled back below the close price. So definitely need a good slingshot coming up here.
That's my
I
watch
told you
list.
about that guy that bought or that sold the puts on Amazon, the ETF, even like the double ETF. It did $750,000 worth,
I
and
saw that. You were telling me.
yeah, the expiration date was for 2 weeks from now. So it's not like the leaps or whatever. So they're expecting a nice run up on Amazon at some point. So we'll see if that happens.
Yeah, Rich just
Oh, we're
called out
getting a
that big
pullback
iceberg
there.
order at was the FRTG. You said, yeah, and he's just backed right off right at that high. So
Yep.
I just added to that order.
That's where we were saying you don't want to have it chop around, do like sideways right now. It already moved up so much.
Archer had a nice little pop. I still have that stock. I don't have as much as I like, but
Chris saying Wolf moving, WOLF. That was also one that we were going over yesterday in our coaching program.
Wolf.
And nice pop over 4. Yeah. See if that could become support now, maybe. Might like dip a little down to 4 and then hold. That was a good level from the other day. I'll give Chris a quick shout out here. And, I always like to shout out different students, but just to be very point blank and straightforward, if I see a call out from Christopher M, I'm quickly jumping to the trade myself. Let's just put it that way.
Wolf looks like he's making a Fausto flag.
Yeah, that too.
That looks really nice, like a Fausto flag. If you're a student at Cybertrading University, you know what to look for. That is a Fausto flag. That's a good one right there too.
Kerry got a nice trade on that FRGT out just in time, at least. Some good money there.
And this kids is trading a shitload of shares of volume. So a big green bull just came in. Yep. A lot of buying coming in right now.
Is this really going to run all the way back up again and break over 10? That's crazy. This thing was what, at $1 yesterday?
Yeah. It's going to get halted.
Oh my God. Here we go. Yeah, it looks like it's going to. It's like attempting.
It's going to get halted. John says Costco's at 110. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah, I got halted.
Yep.
All right. This is where the crazies start popping out here left and right. So if there's something that you see making a move, let's hope it continues, because I'm sure FRGT won't be the only one. Or I'm sorry, kids won't be the only one, I mean. Scan around fast. That WOLF isn't as like low float small cap compared to like the kids trade. So don't expect it to like pop as fast, but that could still make a nice run.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Pony going back up. Holy smokes, Fausto. Pony is just flying back up right now. Like no other.
Pony's back in play.
Yeah, look at that thing. I mean, that's almost about to get halted.
Really rocketing. Is it too late? Pony's you got to go back 2 days. A lot of resistance levels at $10 though. So I would probably stay away from it. It hit 10. It came straight down to like 9.
Yeah, look for a pullback on it. But like we said, there's going to be others that pop up in play that come into the fold. Like very easy.
Cake showed up in Palantir. Another order showed up at 121. They're really trying to hold it down.
Blast from the past here, Fausto. You did very well on this one, I believe, the ASTS. Just be careful, though, for our students, because it's probably more of a category 3 to 4 even at times. But, starting to make a nice run. You got to wait 3 more minutes on that kids trade to reopen up.
Did really well on that ASTS. That made a lot of money on that stock. We were holding it forever at 20, and it had that big pop at 30. Had a big position on that stock. We had that for a while, back in August.
Rich, go back to a Wolf, WOLF, because we teach this in class. I go over this a lot further in the coaching program. If you're looking for support to build, you got to see it hook under and over. If it goes under and stays under, there is literally no entry. So I was watching this just for the last couple of minutes, waiting. And unless it makes my move here, I can't press buy. Good shout from Chris, but damn, unfortunately, that 4 level isn't really holding too nice.
Palantir is going back up to 121.
That is insane. That Palantir, man, what a company. It's
You
got to be
know,
one of the more impressive moves I've ever seen in my 11 years here, pretty much with you. Just have it run up as smooth as it did from last year.
I'm telling you, if this stock, it went up a little, my concern, it went up a little too fast in the past month. I mean, this is like imagine buying a $6 stock going to $12. That's basically what you see here. Don't look at the hundreds, just take out the zeros. So it's all relative percentage wise. What really interests me about this stock is that it's been trading here. If it consolidates, it's going to break, you know? Okay, just took out the 121.
Taking a day trade on BITX. It's the Bitcoin ETF. And earlier I made a post in our trading room going over it, so I almost forgot about it. But you had this buyer show up at least recently at 9:20 in the morning, about 10 minutes before the open, on regular Bitcoin. So I'm like wondering, are we going to get a pop? Is there going to be a move here? So I just want to see. I'm on taking a loss if it doesn't work out, but that kids trade should be reopening up pretty soon.
Still looking strong. Did it open up did it open up yet? What time
In
did it
just a
close?
little bit. Go back to the time of the sales.
It should be open up in about 20 seconds, 30 seconds.
Yep. Oh wow, Pony took out the iceberg at $10 also, so that's still going. That could be a false breakout though. So at $10, that's a huge resistance, like Fausto pointed out. So that could just be a head fake. Just be mindful of that. But for my Bitcoin play, I'd want to see a pop pretty soon within the next like 5 or so minutes.
Do you like Bitcoin
What was
at
that?
these prices?
To buy, as far as long term, yes. As far as day trading it, just focus exactly on what we teach you. Oh, here we go. Just reopened up, kids.
I just sold all my CONY. I don't like that stock.
Wicked shake. Long term, yes. Short term, just be mindful of what we teach you in class. The cyber clock. If it's not breaking higher, it's only going one other way. So, and like the 30-second rule, pretty much. I'm using a little bit longer than 30 seconds for this one, but just, you should know pretty quickly upon getting in. We teach this all throughout our phase 1, 2, and 3 classes. Oh, Aldo, great to see you here. And I see that you just joined us here coming up for the phase 1 course. You're Cyber Group Plus now. So congratulations on that. And welcome aboard to the team full time, and looking forward to having you here today.
What's up, Aldo? Good to see you. I don't know if you heard me, but I sold my COLY. I'm done.
You just, I mean, you collected on it anyway, so.
Yeah, I collected on it yesterday, but like it's just a dog stock. I mean, that was such bullshit. I mean, it was at like 820.
Yeah.
I got paid. I'll tell you right now what I got paid. Okay. So I didn't have that many shares of it. I only had like 1,400 shares of it. All right.
Yeah.
And they paid me $900. They paid me $904. But the day before, it was like 8:30, and then it opened up at like 4:50. So I'm like, I mean, I made money on I bought it really cheap. I owned it at like 670 or something like that, 680. But like that, you could see how like they sell it. They sells off on the day after.
Exactly. The first day of the month, it just gaps down. And it's funny because not all of them did. I know the CONY did. I told you about my experience with BITO, a different type of ETF, but same thing happened. Yeah, a little weird, right? So it's a nice lesson to learn. You realize once and you say, not again.
Yeah. I mean, now my next one I have to watch out is the TSLY. It's at a major resistance levels. It doesn't break out here.
Bitcoin's trying here. It's inching up a little bit, nothing too much, but the direction is bouncing back up a little bit. So I'm up a little bit on BITX, that double ETF. Also, Wolf, I kept my eyes on that, still looking for that hook, that under and over. Wolf is making a nice little move back up again. So I had to be a little patient on that. But
There's a Trump stock out there, but it's not the Trump that we're thinking of.
Maybe it can move up in sympathy.
They took over the name from TGP.
Yeah, so the two I'm in on right now are Wolf, WOLF, the more category 1 or 2 type of trade. Nice call out from Chris. And the BITX, just the Bitcoins.
Yeah, Pony's got a nice little push on that thing.
Yeah. So it did shake at first at 10, but it obviously didn't drop much like further. It shook around like 30 or so cents, then popped. Wow, Pony.
Is really
Yeah,
strong.
that thing broke right over that 45,000 share seller just before 10. I mean, is Palantir break new all-time highs today? Do we just get that today right now?
I'm thinking I'm going to buy him more.
Oh my God, man. You got resistance at 122, but after that, focus on your 5s and 10s. So like $125. That you got a 320,000 share seller out there. It's a good time to break out the old calculator, Fausto.
I'm looking at
$125 per share times 319,000 shares out there. It's about $40 million worth of money at that $125 level.
I don't think that's a lot.
Yeah, you got to know where your resistance is. Very nice bell. She got in yesterday after the crash there. We were calling it out as a short from like 119, 118.50-ish. So dropped off a little lower. She got the long and great profit on it.
I'm just looking at, like, I typed in Palantir. There's PLTU, PLTD, PLTY, PLTW, PLTG, PTIR. They're all like ETFs.
Yeah, so many of them.
Holy shit.
Pony is just going straight up right now. Your next resistance is at like $10.70, which isn't as much, but 10.70, then at 11. So a couple good levels there on Pony still.
I averaged up on Palantir. I think it's going to break it. I mean, I don't have a good price, but I like to more average up than average down.
Which one are you talking about, Palantir or Pony?
Palantir. I bought more.
I was thinking you were saying Palantir. It's a great chart to at least do that on. So
Pony's looking damn strong.
The Wolf trade isn't breaking higher highs yet. I mean, there's still time. We got plenty of time for that to happen. So maybe that's me sounding impatient, perhaps. But
oh wow, it did break that resistance. Holy crap! Where's the other high? Oh yeah, here it is. A lot of resistance levels back on the 28th, around 1120. Not bad if it gets there. 1120, 1070, 1120.
that kid's trade pulling back a little bit more. So you can't be surprised on that. Remember, it opened up yesterday at like $1 or at $1.60. So I think that's a finished move there.
The FRGT is testing an iceberg order. Looks like it's filling him right now, 285.
Yeah, I see that. I want to go back to my chat with you from earlier. I got to see where those Amazon puts were sold at. What was the strike price? Because it's tanking.
FGF on YouTube is saying, what about Z-Car? Z-Car is not really going anywhere. I mean, I guess that's a late, you posted that a while ago. I just saw it right now.
That one's got a bit of a spread there, that Z-Car. I'd stay away from that one, honestly.
Yeah, party's over.
It's a very low float stock as well. That's a kind of a gamble type of stock. You're looking to roll the dice a little bit. Wolf is popping now. There we go, Chris. We're trying. It looks like it's about to break out, and it looks like a Fausto flag now. Even more than it was earlier. We said it was before. Actually, it's just building better now.
Archer's got resistance levels. It gets past this $9. This thing's going to be probably going to test like 1050. Still own that. Should have bought more of that. That's a cheaper stock.
What I like about the Wolf is that it and Archer too. Archer and Wolf, and kids, you got to expect the spread on, but that's already made such a nice run for us at least. But like at least Wolf and Archer, they have good spreads, good order book. It's easier for you to just manage your trades. We're not trying to roll the dice here. We're trying to make more educated decisions with our money. And at least from there, like Wolf was a good bounce from 4 up 12 cents. If you're doing that on 1,000 shares, hey, that's over $100 profit. It's not even 10 o'clock in the morning yet. So as long as you're making money on the position, that's what matters most, I guess. But you also got to make sure that you know how to manage your trades. A bit tougher to do that when you got like a 30-cent spread, 20-cent spread.
Just getting people texting me right now. Fausto, what about this one? What about that one? They think I'm their broker. Not really that one. I won't give you a call on that one. Wolf's a little volatile though, Josh, don't you think?
What was that?
Wolf. It's pretty volatile.
The Wolf trade?
Yeah, like I see like that big nasty shake. I mean, if you consolidate here, build that nice little Fausto flag that you mentioned earlier, you break out.
If you compare this to other $4 stocks, $4 stocks that have a bad spread are a lot more volatile than this. This just hasn't broken resistance yet. That's the only issue. We're just kind of waiting here, and the more that you wait, then you're wasting your time. So that I could definitely agree there on. This should have popped a resistance already at this point, I feel. Now, if it breaks resistance, then tanks after, then that's like a pain in the ass type of move.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bad move right there.
Pony started backing off. HIMS looks pretty strong, by the way. I know we were talking about it yesterday. It just made is that the new high? On the 25th of March, 38.70. It's almost there.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good move off the Wegovy
and Wegovy, yeah, that news that came out.
Made me go back to my Celsius trade that did well coming off March because they're around the same price. So I'm like, oh wait, what happened to Celsius? It actually hasn't gone anywhere. So I'm very happy. Didn't do anything after I got out.
Michael made 35 cents on Nike.
Yeah, it's a nice trade.
Yeah, Nike's not. Nike came out with a lot of bad news. I mean, I know that I heard something this morning. It came out a new sneaker they're selling. They're trying to like sell a dirty sneaker that turns clean. Did you hear about that?
Oh, we saw that. Yeah, I heard about that. Just telling Chuck right now, one of our more category 4 or 5 traders out here, and he's on the CEP trade. CEP just showed this big buyer right now for about 74,000 shares. 72, 74. That one has a spread. You got to watch out on the order book for this thing, obviously. But just big iceberg just showed up.
I'll tell you, Nike's got. If Nike can get past this 59.60-ish, it's a gap fill. You can go to 62. I mean, the stock took a really big hit. It was a great buy around 52. You come down from 82.
On the Wolf trade, what's blocking this from breaking higher is not only the highs at 415, but you also have like 47,000 shares out there at $4.20. So that's where you got to watch out for now.
Rich is calling iceberg order at 72,000 at $40.
Oh, that's a good one.
Here's a cheap one. Looks like it's trying to break out with a Fausto flag. ADIL just came up on my radar. It was a good mover yesterday after hours. Pharmaceutical stock got resistance levels right around here, $1.10 to $1.20.
Yeah, I see that at $1.20 right away, even on our Matrix program on our platform. You have that 27,000 share seller there. There you go, Rich.
Tell you, I have some of the stocks that I got out. I took losses on. I'm like, holy crap, good thing I got out of them. I was a big fan of Webull, and I'm waiting to see if he gets close and build some support levels here. I'm very big fan of online brokerage firms. You know what I mean? Being in the industry.
Yeah.
That was that stock that when it went public, went from 9, shot up all the way to $80. It went down to 13. I think I had it right around 23, 24, and I sold it at 20. I'm glad I got out of it. Shit, John, to $13.
Take a look at Schwab platform, SCHW. Just you were mentioning that it's got some good resistance it's approaching back from the end of last year. It looks like a nice potential breakout pattern there.
I think
on the long term.
Palantir is testing the 22.
So you're just mentioning about the trading platforms at least. So I was thinking Schwab.
Oh, breaking news. Andrea says, watch Wolf.
Yes, that's exactly what we're doing. Oh, it's 415 and 420. That seller is there at 420 still.
Breaking news. Wendy's saying watch Hood. Yeah, Hood's got a lot of resistance levels at the 50. There's just so many stocks out there. They're banging on the ceiling, and they've been hovering there. And we all know the more they consolidate and test there, the better it is.
That iceberg that I called out before on the CEP to Chuck, yeah, Rich, it's laddering up right now. So even if you want to drag up your book map for the CEP trade, if you got it, just show it on the screen for a split second even. So our attendees on YouTube might be able to see it. Oh, there it is. It's starting to pop more. This is like a category 5 stock. So I'd say only a select few would be able to trade this on regular size. You could always do one share, but that's a beautiful looking ladder.
That is gorgeous. Oh, man.
Oh, now you got a new seller out there at 57.50, so you got to make sure that gets broken through now. A couple minutes out from 10 o'clock. I don't know if there's any more economic data coming out soon, but might be a little move in the market here in a few minutes.
We haven't talked about it in a while, but I still own the Delta. Delta's doing pretty decent. Not a huge winner, but that was if we can get past this 45, doing. I think where do we own it at? 37, 38. Love Delta. Kids getting halted on the downside. It's halted.
Yeah, that thing's cooked. That is done. And speaking of halts, I appreciate you saying that because, little housekeeping note here, we are continuing, Fausto, our phase 2 classes today, our more intermediate style based classes, a little bit more live market. We're not trading, but more live market interaction, going over halts actually. That's the whole class I'm teaching, how to trade halts coming up.
That's right. So today you got class, right? Was that what time does it start? 10:30?
10:30, yep.
10:30. So if you're not signed up for it, we did send a promo to some of the students out there to get into that class. If you have not filled it out yet, make sure you do it. An opportunity, so something that we did new for all the members out there at CyberTrading University. If you want to just kind of do a sample of being in that class, weren't ready for a class at the time, you're just a member of the room. I think we sent out that email. Just click on it and we'll get you registered for it. Halts are very key. I think this Palantir is going to break out.
So this is where, at least if you were a new student and you decided to follow the wolf trade from earlier, you don't want to be trading more than one stock at a time. So that's where you should just pull the plug on it. But if you're like a more advanced student and you could juggle one or two things, as long as you have your stops set, then just look elsewhere. There's plenty of other opportunity. as a slow mover. PLTR still at the highs. There's a chance that continues and breaks out more.
It's banging on that 100,000 share seller. It's just literally, if you know what's funny, it's something educational for everybody. If you notice, it never hit $22. It hit 21 and 89 cents. You know what I mean? Like they know they know he's out there. Oh, here it goes. Well, maybe I can do it right now. Just did it. Just broke it. Just took him out. There you go. Hey, now we'll go 23. 23, 23, 23, 23, 21. Who's next bidder? 23?
I sold half my wolf trade just now to take half out and run. It's a Friday. I'm basically calling this a summer Friday at this point. It's approaching that iceberg right now too, so it still needs to break over that. But it's looking all right still.
Yeah, Wolf. Breaking news, like I said, from Andreas saying it. Good catch. Andreas been looking at for a while. We did that big little nasty shake. Gorgeous Fausto flag on that stock. I mean, that is beautiful.
Well, now you got 127. Someone big out there is trying to play on the stock at 128,000 share sell order that just popped up right now.
Yeah,
they pulled their order.
Yeah, Randy and Linda. JetBlue's been really, really nice. That stock got destroyed too. And I know that the earnings came out, but that's been also a very nice little cheap little buy. 350 to 470 now. If you did the swing trade on that, I just hate JetBlue. I don't fly them anymore. You know what it is? I figured it out, Josh. When you get hooked or get locked in these like status things, it's like very hard to go on another airline because you get status.
Yeah.
It's like I got platinum status and like I can't fly another airline because then I lose my upgrades first class. So it's like the only reason why I would ever, I mean, they are my second to go airline. But losing that status, it's like they know how to suck you in and lock you into status.
Danielle on YouTube saying the IBO trade making a pop there. Yeah, pretty good call, Danielle. Nice little pop there from like 60 cents. Already popped up a decent chunk already, but there could be more to it. There could be more to it, perhaps. We normally don't focus on like the less expensive stocks, but not to say that's a bad thing. It's just normally once they pop up over $1, they'll start popping up on everyone's radars and makes it even crazier. Like
we traded that stock in March. It was a great runner. It was a big short squeeze. Went from 50 cents to $6 in 2 days, and you can see it came right back down. So I probably wouldn't bank on it too much. It happens. People get caught up on that. The most I could probably see it is maybe it'll test $1.20 maybe, which is still a lot, but
yeah, but definitely nice move. If you caught it early there around 60 cents, you're probably killing it. There's Palantir in that breakout. Dude, we might get all-time highs today.
Oh yeah, I mean Archer also is making a new high. It's that 25 is a big number right there.
Bitcoin's starting to make a little push here. So my BITX, it took a little bit, but starting to wake up now.
Market's up 370 points. S&P's up 58. NASDAQ, Amazon's the only thing that's bleeding on that list.
Starting to sling up a little bit, but yeah, obviously compared to everything else, it's not doing as good. And Apple too.
Michael's calling the hood. Yeah, hood's looking pretty good. Like I said, we know where the resistance level on it, Mike, on hood is. So look at the iceberg.
Big one at 50.
Kerry's calling the PLTU, making HOD. Yeah, that's the ETF 2X bullish.
Take a trade also on MSTU to kind of complement my Bitcoin. MSTU is a MicroStrategy ETF, so MSTR. It's actually a pretty inexpensive one. So, it reminds me of TSLL a little bit.
I did a speaking yesterday, and somebody messaged me, and they're quite amazed. As much as I was, I think you and I probably have to be. I probably learned so much in this past 6 months to a year about. No, actually, probably a year and a half now, about 2 years now. Ever since we saw IBIT out there, I can't believe how many ETFs are on certain stocks.
Yeah, like just across the board, not even like in Bitcoin, but you're saying
Yeah,
like everywhere.
yeah, everywhere.
Yeah.
And the whole lesson to be learned here is that the exchanges, the way they make money is companies being public, and then they have to pay, those ETFs have to pay the exchanges to be, to those companies be public. That's why they want them to do it. So it's just it's a great leverage play, but they're like, well, if we could do this rule, we could do that rule. Hey, we do it with options. Why not do it with the stock? So basically, it's just another way of trading an option. It's like I mean, it's gambling. You know what I mean? And it's not in a bad way as long as you're good at it. But that's where it is. Nvidia has 800 ETFs. I can't believe that. No, impossible.
That can't be. That's definitely the type of sarcasm I like.
Are you serious, Bill? Really? Got 800 ETFs? I can't believe it.
That would be too much. I'll tell you what,
Well, you know
it
what?
feels like most of them go to crap though afterwards. A lot of the ETFs like keep dropping.
And there you go. Kerry said the same thing. Many are only 2 years old. Now that kind of makes sense, Josh. It makes sense. Like I said, I didn't see this. Like I'm learning this just about. I saw it. I just started learning this about 2 years ago.
Yeah, because TSLL was the first one that we found. It was like when the news came out about these single stock ETFs. Then slowly we sent like, oh, there's a Nvidia one. Okay, interesting. Oh, there's an Apple one. Interesting. Now there's, like you said, 50 of each different stock out there. It's nuts.
Yeah, like I said, Palantir, right? And I said, hold on, PLTR.
A hat trick of green right now. I'm a big fan of what's going on right now. Wolf is pushing up still pretty damn nice. Been scaling out of that because we have class on the horizon, but that's been beautiful off that $4 level. So shout out to a little hat tip to Chris M, one of our platinum students inside our room. Drea, a few more of us that were on top of this here at first.
Yeah, so here's another one, PLTG. Look at this one. I'm just looking at how old is this showing up on your screen? It's brand new.
God, that's brand new.
It's brand new.
Yeah.
Now I don't know exactly what this means. Like the non-super investors, just trying to read up on it.
Actually, I'll tell you what, Leda was talking about Wolf as early as 7:14 in the morning. She was just saying it could get interesting. But once the market opened up, it was starting to pop. Chris was saying, hey, Wolf moving, grab my attention on it. And Dre, if you're in on this, if anyone's in on the Wolf, I would just like to know, like, once you get out of the trade, where your entry was, because you could have gotten in off at 4. Definitely could have. Chuck on the PLTU. So there you go. Even better. Chuck grabbing a few points on that PLTU trade.
200 times leverage.
Listen, if it's not one, it's another. So if I ask if anyone's in on Wolf, I'm just asking out of curiosity because it's like so tradable. But you could ask that on a number of different stocks, right? If anyone's in on the Bitcoin stuff right now, that's got to be doing pretty well for you.
Listen, once they started putting options on Bitcoin too, also, I mean, that was.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wolf's doing great. Nice push. Elena is on at 414. There you go.
Lawrence on Amazon calls. So he was busy on Amazon doing pretty damn nice. Charlene also. Very nice, Charlene. She got about 22 cents. Excellent trade. And Kerry's still in at 403. I always like to ask at the end of the trade because I don't want to distract anyone. I don't want anyone to be like, yeah, I am in. And then all of a sudden, splat, it drops. So I always feel bad if I ask, like, hey, who's in right now?
Is that a gap fill? 470. 422 is resistance. Oh, just took out the 430 guy.
Yeah, we are doing actually pretty.
It's a big ass green ball too. What's the lows here? Yeah, 470 is a big resistance levels on the stock. Is there an order out there? Not really. No one out there. Not yet.
Yeah, like the size of the orders aren't crazy big, I feel like. If you look really far above at $6, 605, there's a 78,000 share seller. That's a ways away.
What level you give this stock?
What was that?
What level would you give it?
Like right now, I'd say like a 2.
Yeah, so I'm saying it's not bad.
You know,
I think a lot
yeah.
of us could trade this stock right here.
And it's the thing of saying, like, we had that support level at $4. That's what we were focused on at first, but it got pretty choppy and sideways for a while. That's where if it's not breaking resistance, you got to be careful. But ever since it broke higher highs, that's been clean.
Yeah, 410 was a good price to get in, which was only 15 minutes ago. Oh, there we go. I'm not
Oh, we
slowing
got a
down.
buyer stepping in right now.
Yeah, I saw that. The guy at 430 for 35,000.
Yep.
So listen, I did a big event yesterday. We got about maybe almost 30 new people that are doing trials at CyberTrading University. So I know there's still people trying to get in. They haven't done their walkthrough yet. So if you're new here and you did your walkthrough and you're listening in, I see we got a lot of people here. Anna from England, I see you're in here. Dawn from Idaho. Who else is in here? Milton from North Carolina. Welcome to the team. And a few other views here I can't see, but just please don't buy anything. You're only here to watch. And I know it seems a little confusing. We do bounce around a little here and there. So we just try to give ideas to traders that we've trained. And the purpose is that we want you to see how if they miss one stock, they could jump into another one. So kind of day trading, and some of these day trades are turning into swing trades. So, and we'll try to show you some big iceberg orders on the right, that what Rich is showing you on the screen. That's called the Matrix. It's the TradeStation version. And in there, you'll seeing it's aggregated where I just showed you, not just a NASDAQ book viewer, but you get ARCA, EDGX, a bunch of them. Just make sure you watch those videos and you'll learn a little bit more about it. That's why it's on the right and not on the left.
Funny enough, Fausto, PLRZ is making a pop. That almost sounds like a Palantir ETF, but it's not. It's just a completely different stock. But it broke over $1 here. It just made a higher high. Oh, you got big resistance, Rich, at 124. That's good to know.
So that Adil did pop and came back down. I tell you, that PLRZ looks pretty freaking strong. Holy crap, that was a good pop right there. Does anyone here have on level 4? I got to take some stocks off the watch list. Kids got halted, right? I know it's open.
Yeah, Kids Trade is dead.
Yeah, that thing's garbage. See ya.
You got to see Wolf begin to push up soon here. We're, getting close to reversal time, so you don't want to necessarily, blow up your trade here. So take the money and run if you feel like it's going to pull back more. That's all.
Josh, you just said that. You just said that we're almost done here. I didn't even look at the clock this whole time. I can't believe it's 45 minutes already passed.
Right? Yeah, this is a fast one, actually.
That was a fast morning. And you mentioned Hood earlier. Where did you see resistance at 49.28? On Hood?
Oh, no, she was asking if you saw resistance there or where you saw it otherwise. $50, we have it on Bookmap.
I'll show you a screenshot. There's a 220,000 share buyer. He's been out there all morning at 47.
Yes.
I'll give you a screenshot what we see here. Do you own it, Anna? I don't know if you own it here, but I'll show you what we got here. How we follow the money on this stock right here. Let me draw it for you. Okay,
Wolf next up. You got 208,000 share sellers now on Wolf.
There you go. If you click on that image, you can see the two big orders out there.
What a nice move for a Friday. And hey, today, I wasn't really expecting to trade as much today, and I haven't really traded too much, but just, it's just nice to have a trade fall into your lap. It moved up so smooth.
And the big thing is, which is today was it's very a weird day. A lot of them more brand name stocks that we've been trading more
Yeah.
than like yesterday. We had the Kid Z. You had the what else we had the CEP.
Yeah, the Z car trade from yesterday. Palantir right back on up, right back to the HOD here.
Go, 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 go. Yep. A little bit of a shake. What was that in Talladega Nights? Shake and bake? Is that what you are? You and I are now? We're shake and bake?
Yeah, a little shake, a little bake.
Uh,
And it's funny, their whole move on the racetrack, if you remember, their whole tag team move is the slingshot.
the slingshot. Yeah.
So, we have our own little slingshot.
We have our
here.
own slingshot. That's right.
That's funny.
Wolf making HOD. Oops.
And
see
for our
that?
students here, if you got out early on this and it's going up here without you, remember, you don't need to make the perfect trade to have a smile on your face afterwards. You still made money. That's what matters most.
All right. So good. So fellow traders, I think you see this on Wolf.
Fausto, I like this view here for the stream.
Hold on.
View here. We got the chart. We got us. Nothing blocking.
There you go. I don't know if everybody sees that on Wolf.
No surprise there, Alex. Alex Puig, one of our long-time students here. He's in on that PLTR trade from just a little over 121. Chuck right there with him on the ETF at least.
Yeah, I bought it at 121 also. I averaged up. Oh, look at Chuck. The ETF version 5270 out at 5443.
Yeah, he's real smooth on the PLTR trade. That's like one of his favorites.
It's been my favorite for a long time.
I'm just going to move my stop up now on Wolf and then just kick back.
Here comes the next order. So but by the way, if for some of the new trial members too, when you do talk to your education advisor, please watch the videos. I did a lot of shorts on Palantir. So that and Tesla. So you should definitely watch them and you can see how these things get done. But I'm going to give you a quick screenshot one more time of what we're seeing and how to have a game plan. Because being a good trader is having a game plan. And this is what we have to watch out for.
Here's a little heads up here. ROBN is the Robinhood ETF. I didn't know that until now. So cheaper version at least. The more you know.
There you go. So if you guys click on that, you can see the big ice orders that we're talking about.
That PLRZ is actually still holding. I should have given that more attention after I called it out even, but yeah, it's at 115, resistance at like 120.
Did Kid Z got halted? No, I just took it off my watch list. Yeah, Archer's looking great. Has him looking. Damn, I'm so pissed. I don't own more shares of that stock. Damn it.
Yeah, it's a pretty good slingshot now. You could just say that now from the last 2 weeks, but it's definitely good for the long-term move.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly, I hate to say it. I said this before. I ran out of cash. Unless I sell something and, buy something cheaper,
I might join you on this Archer swing trade next week. I got to just get one more pullback because I didn't take it just before. So I'm just kind of seeing something I like right now, but I'll probably wait till next week if I even remember, but I like it.
Yeah, it's got a lot of resistance levels right here. If it gets past this like 950-ish, which been a big resistance, yeah, the thing could definitely go to 11. You know, a lot of people are projecting it to be the next Palantir.
You know what? I don't like doing this because I'll eventually write down a bunch of different things on paper and then I just lose sight of what I write down. But it's the only way I'm going to remember here. So I got to remind myself into next week. Archer swing.
I'm just curious. Does Archer have ETFs in it?
Probably have one out by next week there.
ACH. I'm going to look it up. ACH.
ASTS is starting to go up pretty nice again. That we called that out at the open. Lunar trying to go with it. So some of the space stocks you can kind of say.
It's got a warrant.
Oh, nice. Alex, you've been killing it there on the swings overall with SoFi and then now Archer. Alex Puig got in Fausto on the Archer there with the, at 804.
There's a weird one. There's a warrant, but I can't bring it up.
Oh, Rick. My man, Rick with a nice trade on Wolf. He got in at 422 out of 439. Pretty slick exit there, Rick. Good money still there. Just made it a little bit easier to manage that Wolf trade since it had like good spread. Obviously, it had a good trend. You know, that's easy to say, but once it broke that resistance, pretty good.
Yeah, there's a warrant on Archer. It's at $2.40. Problems, I can't bring it up on level 2. Hood's getting close to that 50.
I just had a student write me right now, Fausto. I'm going to get right back to you here as we finish this up. And if not after this, then after class, I will write you back in full, Scott. But you know, this just goes to everyone here. If you can't make it to any of our live classes for any reason, you know, family, health, you know, work, travel, they're always recorded. And we always put them up on your student portal, like within an hour of the class being completed. So definitely since today's Friday, don't worry about the weekend. The classes will easily be up there at least before tonight. So, you know, if you miss out on the live here coming up, just catch the recording later on. No worries. Yeah, Hood going up perfect. Wolf looking for that 450.
Everything's just like going up. Is it me or just I'm seeing things? I think Archer looks
With what?
nice.
Just like the
Archer
whole
looks
market?
great.
Or Fausto, what were you saying that with Archer or just the whole market?
I'm going to buy some more Archer. I'm going to buy the warrant.
Yes, Archer trade's holding up pretty nice. Wolf holding up pretty nice. Bitcoin just sideways. It's not doing anything really. You know, it's not dropping, but it's not going up just yet. Gordon saying Yala and UNH are going down. Well, that's a V-shaped pattern on UNH now. It bounced just a little earlier. That's an active chart. It's a little expensive normally, but
I bought the
the
warrant.
options are a bit cheaper.
Put the warrant of Archer. Non-voting shares.
I'm going to be patient. I got to try and be patient. And since I missed it from the open, if it pulls back on Monday, I'm going to grab a swing entry on Archer. I'm going to join you on the party.
You gonna buy some?
It's just a nice move.
Yeah, it is.
You know, like, and you killed it on the first go around with it. I'm just like thinking like, you know, there's 1,000 other stocks out there, but this is so tradable. It's everything that I want. Just go for it.
Yeah, but
Pony's still pretty lively right now. That's still an active trade.
Oh, look, it's still going up, still popping.
Man, Archer's rushing right now. Yes,
Yeah.
I hope I didn't miss the move. You know,
I don't know.
But
I'm calling. My phone's blowing up right now. All
right, Bitcoin's starting to wake back up again. Just needs to make a stronger push here. It hasn't since the pre-market. It's like building a Fausto flag pretty much to the upside. Bitcoin pops right now pretty hard. You should see Robinhood go up to 50. You should see, like, the MSTR trade make a pretty good push too.
Just send it to somebody.
Bill or Fausto, Bill asking about the Archer warrant symbol. What's the ticker for the?
You know what? It's weird. It's not coming up, but when I brought it on, if you do a search on, because I'm trading off my Schwab account, you got to bring up ACHR, and then you'll see it says /WS. So I don't know how it's coming up on here, but you really can't do that. WS. Yeah, it's not coming up on my level 4 my thing, but it does come up on. It does come up on there, so that's how you got to look it up.
I want to see if Wolf can break over this 210,000 here. It's getting so close to it now.
Hood's getting close to the 50. Yeah, it's gonna listen. If it takes that 200,000 share seller on Wolf, this thing's gonna be off to races. We didn't call it out, but Palantir took out the 130, did 123. I think it's gonna test the 125 today.
That's insane, right?
Market up almost 500. All right, traders. So we're going to get off the mic right now. It's about 10:30. If you're watching on social media and you want to join our trading room, just take your phone. On the right-hand corner, you'll see that little QR code. Just turn your camera on and scan it, and we'll be here all day. So you'll be here all week with us. So if you want to come and join us and not only be here in the morning, we're only here twice a week on YouTube. So if you want to be here with us all day, just do that right now before we log out. And like I said, we'll send you a couple of videos. We'll show you how we get level 4 and everything else. Everyone's going to get ready to jump into the workshop right now with phase 2 with Josh. And if you are doing the trial with him, please make sure if you didn't sign up, talk to your education advisor, get signed up for that. It's he's going to, like, what are you talking about? You say you're talking about halts, right, Josh?
Yeah, talking all about the more volatile trading halts out there. They're all fast moving. So this is the class where we'll have the chance to break down how they work, why stocks even get halted to begin with, the different types of halts, and then most importantly, how to actually use level 3 and level 4 to trade it. So,
yeah. And if you're a new trial member here, I hope you're enjoying it. Party's not over. We're still going to be trading all day. So we're just going to be getting off the mic, and we'll come back at 2:30 and do the afternoon. All right. And if I don't see you, if you did great today, I'll see you back on Monday. Enjoy your weekend. I don't know about you, Josh, but it's going to be a crappy, probably 7 days here in New York. It's going to rain. We got this huge storm coming up. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we'll be back, everyone. Enjoy class. All right.